We live. What's up, everybody? This is Domingo from my channel, Domingo Hero Network, and welcome to my second channel, and welcome to the premiere, the debut of the Blue Brothers Podcast, Episode One for the February 28, 2023. Of course, I am your host, Domingo Hero Network. And of course, this is my debut of a podcast. I am so excited for you guys. Hope everybody could join this podcast. I'm going to be doing on my second channel, the Blue Brothers Podcast. And of course, in this episode of the debut of the Blue Brothers Podcast, I am going to talk about the sixth and seventh generation video game consoles, and of course, the memories I have with two of my favorite uh eras of the generation video consoles, the sixth and seventh generation. So we're gonna get this started. So let's start off. Oh, before we start, I want everybody to know, of course, in this podcast, I only talk about like certain things like nostalgia, retrospect, including video games and wrestling, animes, and certain things in this podcast that I'm gonna be doing. So I hope everybody enjoys the podcast. So let's get this started. So here we go, guys. So we're going to be talking about the sixth generation video game console, my memories with them. Let's start off with the sixth generation, starting with a few consoles that was part of the sixth generation console. This was from somewhere in the early 2000s. And of course, the video game consoles that were part of the sixth generation. We have the Sega Dreamcast, the PlayStation 2 from Sony, the original Xbox from Microsoft, and of course, we got the Nintendo GameCube. Let's start off with the Sega Dreamcast. Really good console during its times. I remember when I was a little kid, I used to play. I never owned a Sega Dreamcast before, but I do remember playing it with a family member. When I was a little kid, I remember playing games like tennis games, like the virtual tennis game, like the first and second. I remember playing like Soul Calibur one, the first one. Like Soul Calibur one was fantastic in Sega Dreamcast, and yeah, so many memories. Like I used to play like the wacky racing games. Um, they even got like WWF games in the past, which like WWF Attitude and Royal Rumble on the Sega Dreamcast. Like it was pretty cool. I also remember um games like the Tomb Raider Chronicles. You got Tomb Raider, the last Revelation. You got Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. I remember I used to play like the Tony Hawk skateboard games. They were pretty fun. Tetris 4D. So many memories of this. Like this is nostalgia right here with Sega Dreamcast, and I remember playing Street Fighter games like Alpha Street Fighter Alpha 3, Street Fighter 3 Third Strike. That's my favorite of Street Fighter, the greatest Street Fighter game of all time. Third Strike. Like I love this game so much. That's one of my favorite games, and it was fantastic. Fantastic. Like it was awesome. I love that game. And so many memories, like the games from the Sega Dreamcast, like it was incredible, man. Like I just love it. It was fantastic. Like there's a lot of memories there, like it was great. Like it's so much fun. Remember playing it. I wish I owned a Sega Dreamcast to be honest, like especially with the memories and all the games I used to play. Like I used to play that for hours, like the virtual tennis game, the Street Fighter game, Soul Calibur. Like it was awesome during its times. All right, guys. So the next sixth generation console I'm going to be talking about. Let's talk about one of the best, in my opinion, the GOAT of the video game console, the PlayStation 2 by Sony. Now I got to tell you, this game has been successful. And of course, one more thing about the Sega Dreamcast, of course, it's the cast from Sega, right? Um, that console had a lifespan, I think like in 1998, I believe it came out. Yeah, I think somewhere around 98, if I can remember. But yeah, don't remember the lifespan for that. But other than, like I love the Sega Dream, it's pretty cool. All right, so now we're gonna talk about the PlayStation 2. So 2 has came out on March 4th, 2000, and it had a long lifespan from 2000 to January 2013. So it lasts from March 4th, 2000 to January 2023. Wow, 13 years. Like that's a long time for that console. Like it's a long time. Like that was incredible. So I really love the PS2, no doubt, because after the success of the PS1 from the fifth generation console, maybe in the future I'll talk about that. But the PS2 has been more successful. Like it sold like a lot of consoles in this game. Like it's so much memories. Look at the games, and I'm gonna tell you the memories that I had with the PlayStation 2. I remember I used to play with a couple friends. I used to play games like Need for Speed. Hell, my mom used to play Need for Speed because she was a Need for Speed fan. I remember used to play that game. It was so much fun. And then, of course, the SVR 8, 9, 10, and 11. Like, it was incredible. Like, playing the SVR series was fantastic. Like, playing the SVR series so much. And then I used to play games like I mean the Tekken 4, Tekken 5, and Tekken 5 one of the fighting games. I really love Tekken 5. It was fantastic. Like it was really, really good. Like it was like I love some of that game for hours, especially that June because I'm it was really good. And then, know, like every game, like that was fantastic. You got the Grand Theft Auto series, GTA series, like with San Andreas and stuff like that. Vice City, like it was great. Like it was so much great. Like a lot of memories there. Oh yeah, like I mean the Sonic Heroes was in it, a couple Sonic in there too, if I remember. Like I remember for hours they played the SVR series, especially like '06. You know, the challenges was kind of hard, and the challenge went to unlock the hardcore million dollar. Not easy, but hey, somehow I got the job done. I used to have with converts into the PS2 version SVR 6. So yeah, like, it was great. That stuff. It's great. Like, I love the game because we all know how popular the SVR series back then. And yeah, like there was so much great memories of the PS2, like how successful that console. Because like I said, the PlayStation 2 deserves to be called the GOAT, the greatest console of all time, one of the best consoles Sony has ever made. All right, guys. So now the next generation console for the sixth generation, we got the original Xbox. Okay, so the original Xbox, I remember I never owned one before, but I do remember. I used to play like Sonic games, like Sonic Heroes on the Xbox. Uh, I remember I used to play with a friend. I used to play like, the Tony Hawk skateboard game. I also remember playing the WWE Raw. Yeah, I remember that game was meh. But yeah, like, there's so many memories there. Like I like the original Xbox, big console. Did have pretty good success in the U.S. We all know the history of the original Xbox in in the United States, certain regions, but like it was pretty good. All the memories. Even though I was playing a terrible game like Raw, the first Raw game, but it was pretty fun during its times. Yeah, it was not that great, but it was all right. I know the second Raw was garbage, probably worse than the first one. And the thing about this, guys, the Raw games are not even that good. Like, I remember the SmackDown games were good. Like look at the PS2 for example, right? I remember playing SmackDown, just bring it, or what about SmackDown 1 and 2? Even SmackDown, Here Comes the Pain and Shut Your Mouth on the PS2. Like those are fun memories. Those are great, the best games ever. But the original Xbox, they had like the Raw 1 and 2, which were not that good. It was really bad. And then, of course, you got other games in there as well, like, so many memories of it, it was great. Alright. I may not have a lot of memories about the original Xbox, but, it was fantastic during its times. And it was a big console. The only thing I didn't like was the controller. The Xbox controller was terrible. It was not that good. So it was no doubt one of the worst controllers I've ever one of the worst controllers in history of the video game. So yeah, it was not that good of a controller. All right, so now we're gonna talk about the last console part of the sixth generation console, the Nintendo GameCube. Oh yes, so the GameCube, it came out in November. Let's see, when did it came out? Let me look up. Oh yeah, it came out around 2001. I know the original Xbox. I think it also came out in, I think in a different era. Yeah, yeah. So Xbox, um, the Nintendo GameCube coming out on no, Xbox came out in 2020. That was November 15th. Of the Nintendo GameCube came. I the GameCube. Like, it was fantastic. Like this game, this console, it was in that game. It's amazing. You ever one series was, was great. Like I was playing friends. Oh, so they reckoning one. Pretty good memories. It's pretty cool. Those WWE games on the Nintendo GameCube exclusive game were actually pretty good. Then you got games like Mario Kart Double Dash, which was fantastic. I played the game for hours. Super Smash Bros. Melee, fantastic fighting game in the GameCube. Then you got Soul Calibur 2 for the GameCube. The good thing about Soul Calibur 2, if you play the GameCube version, you can play as Link from The Legend of Zelda. And then of course you got Legend of Zelda like Awakening, Pick Up the Thousand Door. That's my game right there. I love that game so much. One of my favorites. I love that game so much. I played that game for hours, man. That game has a special place in my heart. I love it. Now, even though the GameCube has some flops, but a good console, and of course the GameCube has no doubt one of the best controllers. The new controller is awesome, in my opinion. That controller i- is the best controller Nintendo has ever made. The controller is the greatest of all time, no doubt. It was fantastic. Like I looked then, and let's get back to games. You got Wave Waves Blue Storm, which was pretty good. Not as good as the 64 version of Wave Waves, but Blue Storm was fine. Um, um Super Mario Sunshine, that's like love. Mario Party 5 to 7 was great. Out of all the Mario Party games, my favorite one is Mario Party 4. I love how Mario Party 4 is, gameplay stuff and all that stuff. It was great. I love Mario Party 4. The other Mario Party games are good too, but Mario Party 4 is my favorite, no doubts. And then you have, yeah, so that's pretty. And of course, you got Peter Jackson. That game is pretty good. You you know, it's pretty well. And that was fantastic. So yeah, like there's so many good game memories. Playing the GameCube, like it was great. I love the GameCube. Then of course you got Luigi's Mansion. Luigi's Mansion was fantastic. Luigi's for his own game, one of the worst games, which Mario was missing. But I will say, Luigi's Mansion, like fantastic game. I love that game. It's great. All right, so that's gonna be it for the generation consoles. Let's move on to the seven one. Another of my favorites, of course, the seventh generation console was in the early 2000s to the 2010s to the mid 2010s. The consoles of the third generation is the Xbox 360, the PlayStation 3 for Sony, the Nintendo Wii. So yeah, and of course the handheld consoles. You got the Nintendo DS and the PlayStation 4. All right. So, so go is fantastic. So much. I think it was fantastic. It was, it did have some problems in the past, like the red ring of death and all that stuff. And thank God I took care of my 360 because you don't want to get the red ring of death. But yeah, like it was great. Like I love the Xbox 360. Like this console, look at it's fantastic, man. It got a good Xbox 360 controller. Of course, this is Microsoft's second ever console. Because remember, the original Xbox was Microsoft's first ever console. That's when, in the in the era of sixth generation video game console, Microsoft first started being part of the video game market. Xbox 360, their second console, fantastic. Like this was the go. The controller is it's a good controller, but the only problem I had with it was the D-pad. But other than that, the controller feels comfortable and stuff, and the triggers. And of course, it does require double A batteries, which that's not a problem to me because I actually got rechargeable batteries from Energizer, so that's pretty good. Which they're really good, brand. I love the Energizer one because it has long-lasting batteries, so it's pretty good. You also got games in the game. Let's talk about the games. You got Peter Jackson's King Kong, which I gotta see if I can get that game for the 360 because that game looks so cool. And then you have the WWE games, like the first ever WWE game for the Xbox 360, SmackDown versus Raw 2007. You have no idea how much I love that console. I love that game on the 360 version. I think the game is awesome. It's the best version. Like I love it. I just love it. And then yeah, SVR 8, 9, 10, 11, fantastic. The SVR series from 7 to 11 is in the 360. Of course, SVR 7 became the first non PlayStation exclusive, so that's pretty good. And then you got WWE 12 and 13. Then you got the 2K games like WWE 2K 14, 15, 16, and 17. But of course, 2K14 is the best one out of all of them, of course. And of course, 2K17 was the last wrestling game for the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3 of the seventh generation console. So there you go. Um, then you also got another console, and they go, you got other games like Sonic Generation, Sonic Unleashed, the Sonic like, Racing all transformed. They even got the second one with the Banjo Kazooie. They also have the Sega the Sonic and, and also like other games. You also got like Street Fighter, Soul Calibur 4, Soul Calibur 5, Injustice, got Among Us, got that the Ultimate Edition is better. What's the other one? Oh yeah, Mortal Kombat 9, the complete edition, which I got the complete edition because it's better. Because like I said, if you get the complete edition of Mortal Kombat 9 and Injustice, Gods Among Us, you can get all the DLC will be included into it. So it's better that way. And then you got Banjo Kazooie, and also you got the Banjo Tooie, Banjo Nuts and Bolts. You got the Vinya Pinata as well. Like, there's so many really good games. Resident Evil 5. Resident Evil 5 is really good. And then you got Bejeweled 3, which is a pretty good puzzle game as well. So yeah, so many memories. And of course, the I remember my brother gave me the Xbox 360 in 2014. He took he gave it to me, and I still got it. Of course, the Xbox 360 Modern Warfare 2 edition. Can't forget about the Call of Duty games. You got Call of Duty, 4, Modern Warfare, Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 2, and also the GTA series. You can't forget about that, like GTA 4, fantastic game, GTA 5, fantastic game, GTA San Andreas, another game, and of course, you got the GTA episode from Liberty Cities. That's good too. So yeah, so many memories, and I still got my Xbox 360, and I love playing that console. This is the console that put Xbox on the map, no doubts, no doubts. And then now we're gonna move on to another console. Let's start off with the PlayStation 3. Now, I never owned a PlayStation 3 before, but I do remember I used to borrow it from a friend, and I remember playing. I remember borrowing the PlayStation 3. I remember watching videos like on YouTube and stuff on the internet, and I remember connections. It's really good feature. I mean, the only games I played in the PS3 was the SVR series, like 08, 09, 10, and stuff like that. Oh, it was great. You know, it got games like SVR series, the W2K series, 12 and 13, Soul Calibur 4 and 5 in there, Street Fighter Cross Tekken, no doubts, like and then you got Ultra Street Fighter 4 and Tekken 6 and all that stuff as well. I also heard Tekken Dark Resurrection, which is an upgrade version. Like the one, I actually like the fat console because that's the back ability slim model. Because the one I borrowed from the the fat console was that's so another console. Let's talk about the handheld consoles. Let's start off with the PSP, one of my favorite handheld consoles. Handheld consoles, Sony is from start decided to participate in the handheld market, and of course, we all know the console war, the handheld console war with P, Sony, and the Nintendo DS at the time. Now, even though the DS outsold the Sony's PSP, the PSP actually got some success. And not to mention, this was the first console where Sony introduced the UMD, which stands for Universal Media Disc. And there was some criticism with the UMD, like it was like the original case for it, like it breaks. And I remember that happened. I remember I used to buy like the clear ones that actually, which I think is better than the original because the original sometimes it break if you don't take care of it that much. I feel like the clear one is better, so at least we got that. But yeah, I remember playing games like the SVR series, like playing SVR 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 on the PSP on the go. And the way that THQ actually work on this game on a universal medium disc into the PSP and you could take it anywhere and stuff, that is very impressive. That is actually really good. THQ, rest in peace to THQ. They did a good job with the SVR series, and we all know how good the SVR series was. Very, very popular back then. Like it was great. And then you got other games like Soul Calibur's. You got Street Fighter 3 Alpha Max, Tekken Dark Recession, even Tekken 6 was on the PSP version. Hot Shot Tennis, Get a Grip, that's pretty good. Um, you got Sonic games like Sonic Rivals 1 and 2. They were okay games. I remember playing that for hours. They were pretty fun games. Um, yeah, like it was really good. And then you got the Mortal Kombat Unchained, which was pretty good. I actually love that game on the PSP. Yeah, like so many memories. The City of Final Fantasy, and then you got the City of 012 Final Fantasy. Like I love those games. Really fantastic. You got Final Fantasy 7 Crisis Core. Like it was great. So many amazing games at the PSP, and also not only games, but they even got like DVDs as well, like Family Guy, for example, and also some other DVD movies and stuff. Which, well, the movies basically, that's what it is. But it was great. I remember um they had like the internet, videos and music and photos and stuff like that. Even the PS3 got that too. I think the Xbox 360 had like the music and the photos and stuff like that. They used to watch YouTube there and stuff like that as well. I remember going on the internet, downloading like music and some photos and stuff like that. It was pretty cool. Even background. I remember downloading like backgrounds, like I remember downloading the Super Smash Bros. Brawl background. The background was pretty cool. So it was pretty cool. And then we got the next handheld console for Nintendo is the DS. So the Nintendo DS, I is no doubt one of the best handheld consoles Nintendo ever made. Like it was great. Like I mentioned earlier, it outsold Sony and the PSP, and it got some pretty good success. Look at the games it got, like the new Super Mario Brothers DS. Uh, they even got a Princess Peach game called Princess Peach. Princess Peach got her own game. That's pretty cool. Yoshi's, they got a Yoshi Story game. Um, they got a spin-off game of Mario Party DS, which is pretty cool. What else? Mario and Luigi's Partners in Times, fan game. Then you got VR series like SVR VR 10 game, so because the button controls and all that stuff, it was great. And also you got got Super Mario 64 DS. I still got a couple of the DS games. Then you got Mario Kart DS, which was awesome, no doubt, awesome game. Like so many good Nintendo DS games. It was great. Like I even though I still kept some of the Nintendo DS game because they're backwards compatible to the Nintendo 3DS. So yeah, so many memories. Like it was so much fun. I remember playing the Mario and Sonic at the Winter Olympic Games. Diddy Kong Racing DS was great. I love it. Like it was fun. So many fun. Sonic Colors was good. So yeah. And of course, the last console for the seventh generation we're going to talk about the Nintendo Wii. Now, this console, in my opinion, this was a good console because after there were some problems with the GameCube and stuff, because it has some flops, but the GameCube is still a good console, no doubt. It's not like the Wii U or when it was the Wii. But I'll probably talk about it another time. But the Nintendo Wii, fantastic. Like this game sold pretty well, and hey, it got games like Super Mario Galaxy 1 and 2. Both of those games are fantastic. The second one is really good. Like it's probably better than the first one. The first one was good, but the second one was fantastic. Um, I still got some of the Wii games. And I remember again the SVR series like Smack the Furrow 2008, 9, 10, 11. Um, SVR 8 not that great. SVR 9 was fantastic. SVR 10 was okay. SVR 11 was good on the Wii version. WWE 12 and 13 on the Wii, they're both okay in the games. I think the only problem is the control mechanics, but they're good. WWE 13 game. There's a problem with the Nintendo Wii. It has some problems. I know. Uh, it has the lack of DLC. There was no DLCs on one. Unfortunately, there was no DLCs on that console, so it has the lack of DLCs. So the problem. It has some problems like the Wii remote, and because of the motions, especially when you play some of the games, the more motions, especially when you play like a bowling game, and swing it in. So like, yeah, the controllers is kind of a man. I do like the Pro controller. The Wii Pro controller looks very nice. The classic controller, it's okay. Then you have the games like Super Paper Mario is great. I really enjoy that game. It's pretty good. Then you got the new Super Mario Bros. Pretty good. Super Smash Bros. Brawl. That was a fantastic game. I love that story mode that they have as well. The characters and stuff is great. And then you have Sonic Colors was great, really good. Donkey Kong Returns was fantastic. Mario Party 8 was good. I think that was the last good Mario Party game. Mario Party 9, not so much. And of course, that was the downfall of the Mario Party series. But yeah, yeah. Like it was pretty good. I really enjoyed these, but I love the Wii. It's pretty good. I still got the Wii games. Of course, I use the Wii U because it got backwards compatibility. So yeah, there we go. That's the one of the good things about the Wii U. But yeah, that's about it, guys. So that's my memories and talk about the sixth and seventh generation of the consoles. That's got to be it for this podcast, man. So what do you guys think about what's your about this? Like I said, six and seven generation video game console is no doubt two of my favorite eras of video games. I love those eras, and it was great. And I'm very happy that I got some of these consoles and stuff. But yeah, of course, from the sixth generation, like fantastic memory. Same thing with the seventh generation. Like it was great. What's your that? Guys, let me know, and I hope you guys enjoy. So I'm gonna end, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed my first podcast. It was great. I was so excited to do this. Stay tuned. I will do more podcasts in the future. Don't forget, make sure you subscribe to this channel, the Blue Butters Podcast. Tap the notification bell so that way you get notified when I upload a podcast video. And make sure you share this podcast out, share it out with your friends and stuff. Like the video as well, comment and show support for this channel. And stay tuned for more Blue Brothers podcasts in the future. So that's gonna be it for the podcast, guys. I am your host, Domingo Hero Network, and I'm signing out. You guys and girls take care. Have a great day. Have a good day and goodbye, everyone. All right.